up, change direction, yeah.
Ulysse Nardin is a disruptive marine autology. We're actually using different materials in this diver watch, the Ocean Race, a limited edition. The strap is, for instance, made of PET recycled plastic, but actually the case is also a mix of fishing nets. There's been 100% fishing nets that have been recycled, mixed with some carbonium, which is made of waste from carbon components coming from the aerospace industry. Plus the steel also is highly recycled, etc. So for us, I mean, it's been a major effort to turn what was a concept a couple of years ago into a commercial product today, and to make it probably one of the most sustainable timepieces available right now for a luxury IROG brand. It's actually much more challenging to use upcycling materials than to use new materials, including precious one. When you think of it, upcycling plastic is actually probably more complex than gold. And it's part of the challenge. I mean, we want to be part of the solution, so we have to look at innovative solutions to make sure we deliver a watch and a promise to the watch lover that maintain and keep the aesthetics of a diver watch, at the same time also with the same features. And this is very complex to make, especially because most of the components here and the technology we're using are brand new and had to be developed with our partner suppliers and working with several of them. Yeah, packaging is sustainable, absolutely. I mean, this comes in our Aliansen sustainable bag, but also a pouch, which is made of recycled components. For us at Ulysse Nardin, we now strive to have almost all our merchandising and material that are 100% recycled. So we're, in terms of components, I mean, we're sourcing very locally because we're making almost all the movements. So this is very local in La Chaux-de-Fonds. But beyond that, actually, joke aside, we go much further than that. You probably know that we are master 60 different expertise inside our own manufacture, including silicium components. But whatever we don't make, we source locally within a radius of 30 or 50 kilometers around La Chaux-de-Fonds in a Swiss Jura. We work with large companies. Aliansen is one of them, or partners like the Ocean Race, but we also work with startups, and it's probably our role to be helping startups to take off and to bring innovative technologies to a larger scale. And a brand like us that have awareness should do that. And working with Fil and Fab, a French startup based in Brittany, is actually a very good symbol of how we proceed. The great influencers we have actually are probably the women and men that are going to go around the world sailing, whether they go as a team or alone on a boat. I think I think they set the bar very high in terms of adventure and in terms of expertise in sailing. But much more than that, I think they're inspiring because of their values and who they are individuals, and we feel so close to that. And it's so obvious for us to have a partnership like the Ocean Race. We fall in love for people that are activists on one hand, but also are athletes and are true explorers of today's world. I mean, they have a very clear conscious of the work that has to be done, obviously, to bring awareness to some of the issues, for instance, of the ocean, but also at the same time are pushing the boundary, their own limit in their own sport. I mean, Fred Brill, the free diver that lives in the Azores Island, is a very good example of that, as well as Sebastian Copeland, who's an Arctic explorer, but also a great photographer. And I think through his books, through his work, is actually bring a lot of advocacy on some of the issues we're facing. I think one thing we have very clear is we need to act because we feel it's right. But actually what's happening, we see a growing interest from the end consumer to understand where the watch comes from. That's why I very often refer to La Chaux-de-Fonds. because I think it's very important people understand what's behind the watch, and they want to know it. The same way we now in the independent brand, they want to understand the woman and the man and the passion behind the watch, and actually the interest for like the sustainable component inside the watch is really triggering a lot of attention. We saw that already 2 years ago when we launched the Dive and Net concept, and we know that interest is growing permanently now.